Sure that most of you know the old story about the astronaut who went far out into space and was asked on his return whether he had been to heaven and seen God. And he said yes.
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and sentient artificial intelligence. Join us on this journey to find the others. Because no matter where we find ourselves in this multiverse, the act of existing is all too familiar.
Guys? Is anybody out there? Hello?
The mushroom has a tremendous problem-solving ability.
Herbs are good. Herbs are good for everything.
As we look across this great expanse and stare at the stars, we can't help but be reminded these lights, though we're seeing them all at the same time, happened across a multi-billion-year delta. Some of those fires burned millions of years ago, some billions, but all of them happened so we could experience them in this one singular moment.
They called us scouts. They called us seekers. They called us Hoosier. But we were destined to question everything.
I don't know about you, but as for me, the question has already been answered. Should we be here? Yes.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU 920am.com. It's the April 12th, 2019 edition of Hoosier Sophisticate Radio.
Highly anticipated.
Yeah. Steve left me to my own devices again, and with the producer, the guy that's not normally behind the camera. I don't really know what to do. I'm a little nervous.
I got this.
Thankfully, we've got great sponsors that allow us to stumble through this, like Missouri Medical Cannabis Company. MomedCanCo.com makes this whole presentation happen. Enter HOSO at checkout, capital H-O, capital S-O. You'll get 15% off your entire order, site-wide. Big week, fun week, a lot of stuff to talk about. What'd you have? You have a little fun last night with a buddy?
I did. A friend of the show, Sam Lyons, and I, we first of all, big shout out to We Are Live Radio, our friends Chris, Travis, and the other Chris. They put on a great show last night, great lineup. Angela Smith killed, our buddy Michael Price was there, he killed, and of course, when I walked in, Sam was just murdering.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Sam killed it. And it was
all three
great.
Of them have been on our show. I just want to pat ourselves on the back on that one.
Yeah, I mentioned that. But yeah, so Sam was killing it. We stayed around for karaoke. Me and Sam felt necessary to do a classic. We did a little duet.
Okay.
I Swear by All for One.
Oh, by the moon and the stars in the sky.
A beautiful composition. I think we got.
In the sky. Hey guys, I'm in Johnny on the spot.
Hi, Steve.
I'm Johnny on the spot with my 3-year-old son at soccer park. If anyone wants to know what I'm doing.
Why don't you be a good father and pay attention to the game?
How's our guy doing?
Oh, he's dominating out there. He's got his Ronaldo jersey on, and he's like, everyone's like, "Hey, Ronaldo, pass." He's
jersey.
like,
we had T-shirts. With
actually, when you wear Ronaldo's jersey, you don't have to pass.
Exactly. Ronaldo don't pass. I'm like, you're Ronaldo's son. Do what you got to do. Okay, baby.
Back to my fun night. Yeah, so Sam, me and Sam, we sang that little number, and then we saw this guy had like a trench coat on and like a blue bandana and long like shaggy hair and a scruffy face, and he like kind of walks up with these gothy kind of boots on, and it's like, I want to sing a song, and he signs up, right? And then he goes and sits at the bar just all by his lonesome. And we're sitting there, me and Sam were trying to discuss, like, what do you think this guy's going to sing? We're like placing bets, like he's going to sing Seether or like Marilyn Manson or something like that.
Maybe a Puddle of Mud.
something I hate my daddish.
Okay.
Something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
He goes up there, and the first thing he does in this crazy deep voice is he points to Sam because Sam had just did Big Papa.
Okay.
By the Notorious Big.
Okay. Yeah. Notorious
B.I.G..
Big. He's
Rest in
one.
peace. Biggie Smalls.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes up there and goes, I just want to give a shout out to this guy right here, and points to Sam. He's like, I couldn't do what he did. And that was kind of weird. This guy's kind of like gothy pirate-ish. Like
he's a 2019 goth pirate.
Yeah, something like that.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, exactly. But he's better looking than Johnny Depp. But, no, this guy goes up there and he just kills. He sings My Way by Frank Sinatra.
Really?
And he just lets out this voice. I did it my way. Like the whole crowd, people are on their feet clapping.
Eddie Vedder dressed like Axl Rose singing Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, and me and our Sam and our buddy Kankles, we all look at each other. Our eyes are just huge. We're like, dude, this guy's killing it. There's this group of hot chicks in this table just standing up and screaming like at a freaking NSYNC concert or something. So that was pretty interesting. And we wanted to get our buddy Sam in studio tonight, but he had a show. So unfortunately, we have somebody, or fortunately, I should say, we have somebody filling in for Sam. He sent us a local comedian, Pat. Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Coming in.
Great. Say hi to Pat, Steve.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, Steve.
Sorry I couldn't be there so you could meet me.
Yeah, here's the thing, Pat. You must know that Steve does not like when we bring comedians in because Steve still lives in a world where he thinks he's the funniest person alive.
Go, boys. We just netted one.
All right. Go. Are there like bullhorns? You should bring one.
So is that
I'll get in there on the next play.
Did you guys get after him, Dad? Get after him. Did you guys did you sing anything by yourself? You said that Sam sang Big Papa.
I usually sing some Green Day.
Ooh, what's Green Day song? Longview? I pegged you for a Longview guy.
It's one of my I just remember being a kid and seeing that video, and it's so relatable. He's just sitting on the couch, bored, flipping through the channels.
That was your childhood?
No, I wasn't my whole childhood, but there's different videos you can relate to. That's definitely one of them.
When Steve gets in here, we'll recap it. This morning, we had the opportunity to set up shop for Hoosier Sophisticate at the MCIA CannaCon STL. This is now the fourth conference that we've had a little bit of a presence at and had a chance to see all of these different facets of the cannabis industry come together. And what was really cool about today in particular was with all of these events that have already taken place and all of the hundreds and thousands of people that have done it, this one was a lot of people we haven't had a chance to meet yet. So it was a really great networking opportunity. If you haven't had a chance, check out Hoosier Sophisticate on Facebook. If you're listening on 920 AM, WGNU920am.com. If you are podcasting this next week and you're listening to it on iTunes or Stitcher or any of your major podcasting platforms, go check out the Hoosier Sophisticate page on Facebook. We have interviews with vendors, with patients, with people putting on the conference, with people that are trying to push legislation, people from NORML. All kinds of great cannabis content was recorded today. Super excited to recap that a little bit with Steve in the second hour when he gets in here. We're going to go down the rabbit hole. They got our guy. They got Julian Assange. They got him because he was being rude. The Ecuadorian said, enough.
He was being rude.
That's what they said. They said, hey, look, he was fine, but he started being mean to the help.
Yeah, belligerent. So
if there is anything that you take from this, we had a little talk back and forth on our fan page, Sophisticated Hoosiers, the other day. And it was about, everybody's got a right. Nobody has to be likable. There's no rules that say you have to be nice. But, and you're 100% free to be as cantankerous as you would like to be. However, you're going to get a lot further in this world if you don't have piss and vinegar running through your veins. And I think Julian Assange may have proved it by getting kicked out for being rude, because now he's looking at time. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Talk about Moses and the burning bush. Want to get into that a little bit?
Oh yeah.
You guys want to get weird with it?
I've always wanted to get weird with that. You want to get weird with that?
I would love to get weird with it.
Let's get really weird with it, Pat. I'm gonna throw something at you right now. Let's just jump in right now.
Still got Steve.
I think Steve, are you on board with this?
I'm totally on board.
My guy. Listen, I got some news for you, Steve. This is going to really pin your ears back.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Moses was probably on drugs when he experienced God in a burning bush. Now, there are some pretty intense moments in the Bible. Bushes erupt in fire, lightning screeches from the sky, and loud symphonic sounds lead prophets and saints to sacred events. Moses has several experiences in which he encounters God in an intense sensory fashion. But was there really experiencing all of these things, or was Moses on drugs? Well, there's some doctors out there that have been doing a little bit of research, and they've got a little bit of a hypothesis, Steve. Seth, Pat, I'm talking to you too. When it comes to the sensitive subject of drug use in the Bible, Dr. Benny Shannon of the Hebrew, it might be Shannon of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, is the leading expert. Isn't there all kinds of stuff going on in Israel? They're not afraid to talk about it.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of history, there. He claims that specific plants available on the Sinai Peninsula could have created a hallucinogenic effect when consumed together, extremely similar to the Amazonian tradition of ayahuasca tea. He has used ayahuasca himself and believes it can open the mind to a religious experience like no other. What do you think, Steve?
I think my kid needs to be somebody, but also I think a lot of the religious stories and tales. I mean, I grew up in the stories of the Bible, so I totally buy into all that stuff. That there is definitely a psychedelic nature to all this extreme spiritualism.
No doubt about it.
If somebody in modern time, like somebody today was like, I talked to God through a burning bush, man, it was gnarly. You'd be like, this man is on LSD.
It's a hard subject because a lot of people, when you're talking about faith, with faith comes heresy, and there's people that are afraid of, possibly being, what's the word I'm looking for here? Disrespectful to others' faith. And so Dr. Shannon,
blasphemous.
Dr. Shannon, I need to find that out, makes it very clear he wants to retain respect for the Jewish and Christian faiths. Publications such as The Guardian have misrepresented his work in the past, touting that Moses was high headline and twisting the professor's words. Terms such as drug and trip and high and stone are ones he wants nothing to do with and he does not condone. It's highly controversial research at this point, totally theoretic, but it offers an interesting and plausible explanation of many of the events in the Bible. Now, I am hip to this in the sense that it's widely believed that the burning bush was acacia. And acacia does have fairly high concentrates.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, good. I didn't want to be the only person here that didn't know
It's
what
got
the hell Craig was talking about.
fairly high concentrated amount of dimethyltryptamine or DMT
right.
in the plant. So the idea is as this bush burned, it was throwing off perhaps some DMT.
The burning
inhalants.
bush was really there, but his speaking to God through it is the effect of a DMT in the atmosphere. That
listen. Moses had that old head DMT too, which is that good DMT.
It's a sublime lyric.
He's an OG for sure.
You like that, Pat? Keep up, buddy. Come on, I'm on the phone here. Come on, Pat.
There's more to that. I think anybody, it would behoove you if that even sounds remotely interesting. Look up what the original sacrament were, or what people think the original sacraments were. And some of these churches that are hundreds, if not thousands of years old, cathedrals with stained glass, where Jesus is holding a sacrament that is quite reminiscent of psilocybe cubensis, also known to be a pretty healthy psychedelic. And actually,
I know acid and I know shrooms.
Well, shrooms would be psilocybe cubensis there.
Okay,
yeah,
because you're always like bringing up these wacky.
Well, hey,
terms.
listen, the way to get people to listen is to sound like you're smart. You'll figure it out.
This man
eventually.
reached from a cod.
Yes, absolutely. So Pat, how many? So when did you decide that you were addicted to acid?
Have you taken it? Not taken it? Rather not say.
Whoa! I like this guy.
I mean, I haven't taken it yet, but that's
yet.
Yeah,
here, on the commercial break, you're gonna.
We are the worst influences, allegedly, on this side of the river. Allegedly. Pat, let's talk about you a little bit, sir. Are you a St. Louis guy through and through? You born and raised up in these here parts?
Yeah, I grew up just outside the city in Shrewsbury, and then about 7 years ago, I moved out to Fenton.
Right on.
My man, Shrewsbury Fenton connection. Woo!
Steve actually went the opposite. He went from Fenton to Shrewsbury, so you guys just missed each other.
You probably passed each other in moving trucks
for sure.
Yeah, well, darn, Steve. I wish I knew you were going to move to Shrewsbury sooner.
I know, right? We could have been best friends. Now I'm stuck with Seth and Craig. Ew.
All right.
Oh well.
Let's talk a little bit about you, Pat. Let's so you got some events coming up. You're friends with Sam, which makes you, I guess, okay. It makes me a little leery of you, but that's okay. Stand up. You always been kind of you've been in the room funny. You stand up in front of a lot of when you were a kid. Were you kind of standing on your head making people laugh? What's your story there?
Actually, when I was a kid, I was usually that quiet kid in the corner who was off reading a book that was way above my grade level.
Oh, see,
yeah.
What books?
Oh, I was reading like a lot of Mark Twain when I was about 9 years old. And he's on the poster.
And he's on the poster behind us. Missouri made, sir. Right on. So full-time gig. Is this something you moonlight in? Is this your passion? Where is it cathartic? What is it that makes you crazy about comedy?
Well, I mean, when I was in high school, I watched a lot of Comedy Central, and it's like I just really enjoyed it. And it's something I wanted to do. And then about 3.5 years ago, I just happened to end up at an open mic night with one of my friends. And so I talked to the guy who ran it, who is Chad Walls, who runs the Comedy Shipwreck at the Heavy Anchor every Monday. And I was like, is it possible for me to get up there? He's like, yeah, sure. I'll put you on the list. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, I was the last person to go up. There was about 4 people in the audience, including my friends. And I didn't completely,
Wasn't a total miss?
It wasn't a total miss. I got a couple of chuckles. So it's like, yeah, I could, if I actually plan something, I might be able to do well.
Yeah. And it worked out for you?
Yes.
Did you get a rush from that?
Oh, I got a major rush.
Yeah. Kind of addictive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. On Facebook the next day, I said that I lost my stand-up virginity, and people were like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, I did stand-up comedy for the first time.
So if you had to describe your style of comedy using a food group, what would it be? And I want to say like Jell-O.
Yeah, it'd be like all the sugar, because it's I have no stream of consciousness to my jokes, because I tried once and I almost drowned. And
that's scary.
Yeah.
Are you a clean comic? Yeah, you're a filthy comic, aren't you?
I'm not
real blue. I can see it on your face.
I mean, I've got some dirty jokes, but I'm also not like straight up clean cut.
Sure.
Take home the mom.
Take home the mom. Is that a comedy term there? Like,
I'll take you home to my dad.
He really took home the mom tonight.
It's like in high school when some boy's like nice enough, you can take them home to your mother and she'll feed you. And...
Oh, I thought you said take home the mom. Take home to mom.
You've never heard that terminology before?
No.
Someone you can take
Steve,
home to your mother?
I'm going to hang up on Steve.
What broken home did you come from, my friend?
I'm just going to hang up on Steve. How's the soccer game?
I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was too busy blocking out the haters.
So let's talk about some stuff you got coming up. Sam's not here tonight because he's got
can we get that at some point, please? Thank you.
Oh, hell
no. You can't call for drops.
You know what? Now that we got the drops going, we might as well acknowledge that integrity is in the building.
Integrity in the building.
And Steve is not. He's watching kickball.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, Ronaldo, figure it out, bro.
Let's take a second here. Let's talk about what you got coming up. You got a show going on. You said you still doing some work at the Heavy Anchor?
Yes. Wednesday night at 8:00 is Yours, Mine, and Ours, which Sam hosts every month with Meredith Hopping. Except this month, Emily Hickner is his guest host.
Okay.
I'm doing 10 minutes. Purdy B, Kate Barton are both on the show, and Justin Luke, who right now is somewhere up north in like Iowa or so, is headlining.
Right on. That sounds awesome, man. And then let's see here. Nope, that's all we got here. Justin Luke headlines. I've never heard of Justin Luke. We've had everybody else in the studio. You're the last person. Why have you been holding out on us is what I want to know.
Because I didn't know until like a month ago Sam actually appeared on the show at all.
Well, you got an in now.
All right. Well, we asked you some very basic questions, so I think right now we're just going to start rapid firing at you, just to get to know you on a few different levels. All right. You die and come back as a scented prophylactic. What scent are you?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a condom.
Oh.
Flavor
prophylactic is a condom.
I'm a Trojan.
Yeah. You're a scent though.
No,
like,
just
have you ever used a condom?
Standard rubber scent, actually. That's
yeah, I'm just your run-of-the-mill rubber scent.
Not the ones you get in a box, the one you have to buy one at a time.
Can we go and clip? Let's see. We're gonna clip that off at 19 minutes, and I'm just your run-of-the-mill rubber scent.
All right, Craig, what do you got?
You know what? I'm gonna run to some of our hot seat questions.
What's the worst thing about you?
Oh man,
Steve loves.
Yeah,
that
we like
question.
to get deep.
I would say the worst thing about me is that a lot of the time I can just say some nasty things about people behind their backs.
Ooh,
Oh,
right
we,
on.
we can all say that, but that's still a good. That's still
I
a
like
good one
that.
there.
What's the best thing about you?
I am that friend who is willing to go help you at 3 a.m. if you're in trouble.
It's a great.
I'm
Then
not
talk
that
crap
friend.
About you right after it.
I'm not that friend, but I mean, it depends. Really,
You got another one,
the
Steve?
Situation.
Yep. What's the name of the book of your life or the movie of your life?
How did I survive this?
How did I survive this? Okay, who narrates
The Bear Grylls story.
it? Who narrates your life story?
I would say Christopher Walken.
It's a great. Anything that throws the cadence off a little bit, I'm a big fan of. I do it with Steve and Seth as much as possible. I like to just throw a brick out there and really slow things down. I'm a seasoned veteran pitcher where I'm going to control the pace of this game. Okay,
Yeah, you know what I like. That's it.
I was hoping that was it. If you were a car, what kind of car would you be?
I'd probably be an ice cream truck.
Why is
Big
that
Worm.
my favorite?
Big Worm. Big Worm is in studio, ladies and gentlemen.
I pictured a Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal.
No doubt.
I love Sweet Tooth.
Seth, you got any questions for him?
Oh, of course.
He loves kids.
Oh, wait a minute. I got one last one. You got to have a song played at your funeral. What's the song?
Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel.
Great choice.
Okay.
Great choice.
All right.
Bravo, sir.
Okay, so I enjoy a Hawaiian style pizza every once in a while. Craig thinks putting pineapple on pizza is blasphemy. What team are you on? Are you pro pineapple on pizza?
I agree. It's blasphemy.
It is blasphemy.
Okay, I
Punishable
don't
by
like 'em
cutting your
anymore.
tongue out.
It's like
That's ridiculous.
I don't even like pineapple to begin
Some
with.
libertarian over here.
Like put it in something I hate on one of my favorite foods. I'm just gonna perform an exorcism on you.
You got another one?
Yeah, sure. If you could be invisible for a day, what would you do? Like just one activity that comes to mind that you'd have to make sure you get done.
Anal.
Only because I like the surprise angle there, Steve.
I'm at soccer park surrounded by children. Just that far.
He was no. What's funny is Steve would just stand there quietly for like a solid 3 minutes. All of a sudden, he just goes anal out loud. He doesn't realize that's what it sounded like to
buddy,
everybody
I'm
else.
At soccer park with kids. Keep it down, please.
Oh, I
Yeah.
guarantee we're. The funny thing about that is, I
Are we on
guarantee you we're on speakerphone.
Oh, hi,
This
kid.
guy lives on
Good job.
speakerphone.
You're all winners.
I mean,
Yeah, everyone gets a trophy. Uncle Seth
Yeah.
says everyone gets a trophy, and Uncle Pete's going to pick you up in his ice cream truck.
His name's Pat, but his brother Pete is also.
it-
His brother Pete is navigating.
Well, I'm trying to keep him out of the pedo file. So I thought I'd call him Pete.
oh, keeping me out of the peto file.
Yes.
So, did you ever answer my question, or are you trying to dodge this?
Oh no,
He's professional.
yeah, no, I think that I would probably just go and graffiti everything. Like,
Ooh,
it's like,
all right.
where does this floating can of spray paint come from?
I would actually sit and watch that, as a spectator. Like, look at this floating can. What does it have in store for me on the graffiti wall today? We got I got another one for
Kinda
you,
weird.
Seth. Do you
Go.
remember this one?
Yeah.
If you your last meal, what would it be? You're on death row. I can see you're a
That's fine.
callous murderer. I know. I'm finishing your. These are all sets. I'm giving all credit to all sets. I was jumping.
Mine
the gun
have
here.
been the best.
I just wanted to know
Open up for him.
what's the last thing you're throwing down the gullet, Pat.
Oh, I know there'd be some fried chicken from KFC, their biscuits, Rally's French fries.
Okay. No, I'm liking this.
Have you thought about this?
I'm liking this. Yeah, I like this.
You have this written down somewhere. He's like, oh no, yeah,
You gotta
right
do-
out of the gate.
Okay, all right. So you got some fried chicken. I'm with you on that. I would go Popeyes, but I can dig on KFC. That's fine.
Yeah, it's like, I grew up on KFC because there's no Popeyes near me growing up.
I get it, brother. I get it. Once you do, it's a game changer. The red beans and rice. I don't even know. I don't even know how to deal with their red beans and rice.
Oh,
You got a dessert coming?
oh man, gotta go some apple pie.
Ooh, you're just an American. You're an all-American boy.
And you know this, man.
Oh, I like that one. What's your bucket list destination? Where are you trying to go before you die?
My destination, I'd like to go to France.
Really?
Yeah, you are an all-American guy.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see it in you.
Yeah. And then I'd also like to go to Finland because apparently there's some bar over there that has a giant beer that you can get. It's the glass is so huge that they have to have
A tap on it.
just keep buying beers. Why would you make?
Are you finished? You look finished. Are you finished?
No, I'm Irish.
Oh, okay. Well, that was my next guess. You were ish.
You finished?
Are you finished? Are we done? No.
I got one more for you. What's your guilty pleasure song? The song that you blast when no one's around, but you'll never really admit that you like it until now on live radio.
Oh man, I got a couple of those.
Give us all of them, because I like to celebrate and listen. I was singing Counting Crows in the car before I came in.
Oh,
here. Right before I came in.
I do like Last Friday Night by Katy Perry.
It's a great choice.
Yeah, and then I listen to Suit and Tie by Justin Timberlake.
I can see that.
I'll listen to.
Are you like singing in the hairbrush in the mirror type of guy? At home, you like to just kind of get yourself pumped up. Like, I'm going on Hoosier Sophisticate, got no shirt on. You're looking in the mirror.
Yeah, I will do that sometimes. I sing in the shower. I'll sing to my hairbrush. I'll sing in the car driving up.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
You're a jovial guy. I appreciate how kind your face is and how warm your smile is. You make me want to have some fun here. Give me something that you love. We like to play a game called Things I Love, where we just try to find the little things. I'll give you an example.
Let me butt in. I'm gonna end this game real quick, and then I'm gonna head back to my car, charge my phone. I'll call you guys when I'm on my way.
Okay.
Bye.
See you, boys.
See you.
See you, Steve.
We like to play this game, and it's just all the little stuff, right? It's really a practice in gratitude. I'm a big fan of a brand new pair of like white tube socks. Like the first time you ever put them on, the way that it just wraps around your foot, it will never feel like that again. After you wash it, it's done. You might as well throw it in the trash. If I was made of money, I would never wear socks a second time, ever. I would just burn them. What's something small that you love?
I do like the feel of like a fresh undershirt when you put it on, like right when you get out of the shower and you're dried off.
Okay. Good fresh laundered sheets is another good one with the smell.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Seth? What do you love?
I like driving past cemeteries on a fall day.
I do too. Are you the kind of guy that takes a gal to a cemetery to be intimate?
I've done it.
I knew you did.
Oh yeah.
I knew you did.
It's not. Did Integrity say something just now?
He's just blown away by how sick you are as a human being. No,
Speaking of sick, are we? Go ahead.
I
was going to ask the magic question, but
we are.
We're up against show's over. That's all. We only do a half hour.
Let's jump to a quick break. Let's also plug your show one last time before the break. What do you got coming up? Yours, mine, and ours. When can they find you?
Yeah, tomorrow night I'll be at Apotheosis Comics on Grand at 8 p.m. It's $5 to get in. It's a great show. Ken Warner's on it. Kyla Mattoon. Other people are on it.
How do you remember all these people? There's 100 million comics in St. Louis. What's going on here?
There's literally a group chat that has everybody who's on the show tomorrow.
If there was an animal Royal Rumble, okay, all of the animals, all of the apex predators are in a coliseum. There's like a small area of water, which is still pretty big. Which animal is going to come out victor? Who is the Royal Rumble champion of all of the wild animals out there?
I'm going to go with the elephant because it's going to be hard to take him down.
Like an African bull elephant?
Yeah, like African bull elephant.
Okay. That's a good choice. I don't know many people have chosen an elephant, but you catch one of those tusks, you're in trouble.
Oh, you catch one of those tusks, you're dead.
You're done. You're donezo. We're going to take a quick break. If you want to join us for the second part of the hour here, we're happy to have you in here. This is Hoosier Sophisticate. Thank you for joining us. We will catch you on the other side of the break.
Say word. Last February, we held our first Hoosier Tattoo Day at Tower Classic Tattooing in the Grove. And I got to tell you, a lot of really sweet art happened on that day. Everyone who showed up left very happy with their new tattoo. The artist did everything they could to ensure everything, from the drawing to the application itself, was perfected and exceeded the expectations of each individual client. We packed the house and the artist remained cool as a cucumber the whole time. If you got the itch to get inked, visit Tower Classic Tattooing located at 4146 Manchester in the Grove. Check out their artist profiles at towerclassic.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome.
He has the dreamiest eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands.
A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community.
We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from MoMedCanCo.com.
Where?
I get it from MoMedCanCo.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you gonna get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MoMedCanCo.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Lifetime.
Jill.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
And just go Google it.
I wanna lay those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna lay those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding.
Google it.
Roof out for a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo, cause we tell all them leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side.
James Hardy, boy, yeah. Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game. Best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
Roof? You know what that sound is. That's Rufus the Roofing Dog from Lifetime Roofing and Renovation. They're former insurance adjusters. They will fly a drone over your house to check to see if you've had any hail damage. Heck, they'll get up there and tell you themselves. They have an office in Webster Groves, and they're looking to help you out. Lifetime Roofing and Renovation, 314-800-0426. Give them a call. Find them online at LifetimeSTL.com.
Hey there, sophisticated Hoosiers. Have you been to our website? Visit HoosierSophisticate.com and listen to our uncensored podcast. Share some laughs with us. Send us fan mail so we can feel warm and special. Buy our merchandise so that we can eat. Wear your Hoosier Sophisticate t-shirt at social gatherings and let the women approach you. Wear it around the office and get that big promotion instead of Ted. That's right. Screw Ted. Ted sucks. That's HoosierSophisticate.com.
Listen, insurance is not something you want to gamble on.
Yeah, what my associate's trying to say is that James Carlton State Farm is really cool. You're not even going to believe it. Like, let's say you're driving along on the road with your family, and you're driving along, patch of ice, can't quite stop, boom, you bump into the guy next to you. James Carlton's got somebody out there ready to take care of you 24/7. You call him at 314-961-4800. Now, here's what happens with the other guy's insurance. You're driving along, kids are in the backseat. Daddy, I got to go to the bathroom. Not now, damn it. Ice. You can't stop. Here comes the adjuster. Adjuster gets out. He says, oh, my God. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because you want to save a couple extra pennies. To me, it just doesn't make much sense.
Guys, check out carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
Sergeant Jabari Wright.
In the Army, I was trained as a combat lifesaver. In 2012, had an accident and became paralyzed. I was used to working in healthcare and how am I supposed to help people, and I'm in a wheelchair now. It really severely impacted my confidence.
Jim Arndt, PAVE Program, Paralyzed Veterans of America.
PAVE helps veterans rebuild lives with valuable careers. We assess the skills, build the resumes, and help with the interviewing skills to be able to find a career that our veterans are looking for.
PVA took what I was doing in the military and helped me translate that to meaningful employment in the civilian sector. Hooking up with them helped to empower me.
PAVE really concentrates on the one-on-one relationships. Unlike other programs that measure success by placements alone, PAVE places greater emphasis on quality jobs and continued support, our Partner for Life guarantee.
To learn more, visit pva.org. A public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
You're on the line with the Z-Man.
Jump online with the Z-Man weekdays at 4 p.m.
Let me tell you something. Much to the chagrin of many others, I have no problem with Wainwright starting it off. I think Wainwright can win 10 ball games in the number 5 spot.
From the best fans in baseball to all of us that bleed blue, the Z-Man Mike Zarek has the latest in sports. Online with the Z-Man, weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. here on WGNU.
WGNU, the talk of St. Louis. Streaming live at WGNU920am.com.
Technology has evolved so quickly that the people running capitalism from the top no longer understand the tools that are necessary for it. They have to pay guys with ponytails and piercings to turn on the machines every morning. And that must be very terrifying to them.
Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU with your hosts, Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU.
Welcome back.
NU 920 AM. You can stream us live at WGNU920am.com, Facebook Live, YouTube, Mycelial Media. You can't catch us tonight if you're like, you know what? I want to listen to this in the car. It's hard to have the video streaming all the time. Subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, Player.fm, Google Play. Where you at? Where are you listening? Come check it out. You see all this cool gear that we're wearing? You see our hats? We got them in about every color. They're out there. They're on the merch tab on HoosierSophisticate.com, where you can find all of our past audio, past interviews. We make it real easy for you. We got a Hoosier Cotillion coming up in about a week. These tickets are going to go on sale to the public, so you better grab them. You better get on it quick because there's going to be about 50 sold, and it's done. That's it. Got to build a little bit of I got to build it up for you a little bit. This is the big leagues, guys. You want to be a part of this? You want to be a part of this community? Put your money where your mouth is.
He's not kidding.
Wait, are we?
It sounds like you're in a
Steve
waterfall.
Is back. Now you're in. Oh man.
Does it sound better now?
Oh yeah, it sounds a lot better.
Yeah,
now.
it sounds like you're talking to a Pringles can.
Sound better now?
Yes, perfect. You sound great.
Okay.
Sounds great. It
I'm
really
not
does
changing anything. I'm not changing anything.
Steve, we're gonna have a little exercise here in overrated, underrated. We're gonna play with some movies, some some recent ones, some that have come out maybe in the last decade. You tell us where you're at and why. And I really want to see you get fired up over there, Pat. I can see the passion in your eyes. When we started naming some of these movies, I saw unadulterated anger in your eyes by some of the ones that Seth brought up being underrated.
He actually threw his chair.
I saw it. I saw it.
All right,
Seth, hit us with the movie.
I loved this movie. This Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I thought it was super underrated. A lot of people trashed it, but surprisingly enough, I was really impressed with the movie. I liked the girl that's like, the Star Destroyers that were crashed in the desert, how like the people go, the scavengers go out there and like.
You like Rey?
Yeah.
You like Rey?
Oh, I had a little crush on her.
I think that, Rey is this generation's Leia, right? Like Leia was kind of the little sex pot that all the nerdy kids liked back in the 70s and the 80s. They're like, oh, look at the little buns on Leia. Can somebody put some buns on Rey?
I like Rey. Get off Rey. All right. So, but really, I think the way they killed Han Solo, that was very abrupt and out of nowhere. It's like, wait,
hey,
why did you do that?
I'm not comfortable with this spoiler. I'm not comfortable with the spoiler. Can we run the tape back? Like
Everybody has seen Force Awakens if they care.
That is a pivotal part of the movie, Seth Gabriel.
The movie came out almost 4 years ago. If you haven't seen,
You don't yell at me on my show, sir.
Oh, God.
Seth Waters, Steve, Seth. Yeah, you guys are
And then
interchangeable.
the Darth Vader guy that was Leia. And I thought they could have picked somebody better for that, but overall, I thought it was
He's a veteran.
underrated.
It's a Marine. Did you know that? Adam Driver.
Not a good. He should have stayed in. Not a good actor.
I thought he played the petulant child quite well. I think the only person that could be better is Steve at being a petulant
He
child.
reminded me of the guy in Grandma's Boy. Have you seen that?
Oh,
the guy that designs video games.
Yeah.
He's like the
Underrated
CEO.
comedy.
He's like
Underrated comedy.
super underrated.
Grandma's Boy is a very funny movie.
I want robotic legs. That guy. That's who that.
Talks like a robot. That guy. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I hate your face.
Where are you at on it? Star Wars
Force Awakens. Yeah.
Force Awakens.
I liked Force Awakens. I had
you.
Yeah.
You have some reservations? You had some. Were you a Star Wars guy going into it? You a big Star Wars fan before it came out?
I like Star Wars. I'm not the big Star Wars nerd.
Okay.
Nerd alert.
It's like, I mean, if I did have to pick between Star Wars and Star Trek, I would go Star Wars.
Of course.
Ooh, I don't
Those
know.
damn Trekkies.
I don't know that I would. And I love Star Wars.
Really?
I just think that Star Trek is a much more cerebral show.
I'm a Battlestar Galactica guy.
I think that that's a fair play.
No.
I mean, I can appreciate that. I think that Star Trek, if you like bang bang shoot 'em up, Star Wars is your play
Yeah,
for sure.
I like it.
It's although the new Star Trek movies are phenomenal. J.J. Abrams got a hold of those, and they're awesome too. Maybe a little underrated, the new ones, I think. Maybe even a little bit better than the new Star Wars movies. But I love Force Awakens. I saw it I make it a point, the Omnimax at the Science Center.
Okay.
When there are new Star Wars movies, they play it at the Omnimax.
I didn't even know that. That's
It's
pretty
the
gnarly.
only, once you do that, once you watch it in 70 millimeter IMAX, there's only a few places in the entire world where you can still see these movies on film in 70 millimeter IMAX. Once you do that and you are got that story wrapped around on that globe on the inside, that dome, it's the only way to watch it. It almost ruins watching them anywhere else.
I like my music on vinyl.
Okay. Finish your thought, funny man.
I like my television on analog.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
do. Analog's just a little bit better. Okay, you want to judge me? That's fine. You got another movie, Seth? Because funny guy in the car couldn't be
Hey,
here
wait,
on
I
time.
don't get to judge.
No, you're done.
Yeah. What do you think
Done in this
about
town.
Force Awakens, Steve?
Oh, the weird thing is, I like to stick my pee-pee in my wife, and I like to lift weights, and I like to bird watch.
When's the last time you lifted a weight, Arnold?
Go ahead and dump that, I guess.
And so I've never seen any of the Star Wars.
It's a lie.
That's probably a lie.
It's a lie.
All right, we'll move on.
Just watching
with my
soccer.
son.
Let's not pretend like you're some mountain man.
We got a few.
I am.
We got quite a few movies to
I
get through here,
am.
Steve. All right. The classic comedy, I believe this came out in 98, Half Baked. And believe it or not, I'm going Overrated.
Ooh. Where you at on that, Steve?
I mean, in its time, I thought it was just glorious, but I watched it none too long ago, and it didn't hold up quite as well as I thought it would. But I think it's rated right where it needs to be.
I think it's just not that fun. It's just okay funny. It's just a decent movie.
I think it's a great movie for one-liners. There's a lot of really good little choice. Dave Chappelle's got some brilliant moments. Jim Brewer's got some brilliant moments. Cuban B has got some great moments.
Mm-hmm. You bought Mary Jane that pearl necklace. You obviously missed the point of that story.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. I would lean when it comes to quote unquote stoner comedies. It's down the list for me.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
down the list.
Yeah.
Abba Dabba, you my only friend.
Yeah, I liked Half Baked. I didn't love it, but there are parts about it, like the part where Jim Brewer kills the horse by accident.
That was Harlan.
That's not
Wilson.
Jim. Yeah.
That was Harlan Wilson. Yeah.
7-minute abs.
Yeah.
That's a different movie.
I know what movie it was, Steve.
Oh yeah, that was Harlan Wilson who killed the horse, wasn't it?
It's okay. Listen, all the white guys look alike. I get it. All right, you can just say it, Pat.
There's
you can
Dave
say
Chappelle and then the other guys in the movie.
It's like everyone watches that movie for Dave Chappelle.
Stephen Wright was tremendous in that movie.
The guy on the couch.
As the guy on the couch.
He played a guy who lays on a couch. Anybody can knock that role out of the park.
But it was it was a nice little snapshot of his comedy, his dry approach. I liked it. I liked it.
James Corden couldn't be the guy on the couch. Okay,
maybe he could. I don't know. You don't. What do you know about James Corden being on the couch?
I know
might be a great couch
everything
actor.
about James
That's
Corden.
how he got his job on a casting couch. What is your problem with James Corden?
I got a lot of problems with him, and I don't really want to get into it right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Believe it or not, I saw this movie in theaters and I couldn't wait for it to be over. And obviously, I'm going to say it sucks. But as far as just being a movie and the production quality and everything like that, I'm going to go. I want to say slightly overrated, but I'll go ahead and say that this movie's right where it needs to be. I'm going Titanic. Titanic.
I thought it was hot garbage. I thought it was hot, smelly, stinky garbage.
I wouldn't put that movie through my worst enemy. I wouldn't put my worst enemy.
The only movie that I think I loathe, the only movie with that kind of critical acclaim that I think I loathe more was actually made by the same director, and that's Avatar. I think both of them are steaming hot piles of trash. Just the smelliest garbage. If you've ever walked down Manhattan in August when it was about 106 degrees and the fuming hot trash that radiates from the sewers, that is so comparable to Avatar and Titanic. That was garbage. Thought it was garbage.
Butter stuff.
Where are you at on Titanic?
I agree. My sister was obsessed with Titanic when back in the 90s because
Celine Dion, big Celine Dion fan.
That and she would be up at night watching the History Channel while my parents were asleep, and they wouldn't know it. They wouldn't know it, and then like when she was like 3, she would talk. She had a deep conversation with my cousin about the Titanic.
Okay.
So when it came out like 4 years later, mom and grandma took her to see it in the theaters. They sat through the 3+ hours that is Titanic, and then they bought it for her when it came out the next Christmas on video, and
I watched it around the clock.
I was forced to watch it around the clock.
That's brutal.
I don't think you applying yourself, Smokey.
Go ahead, run with it, Steve. Go ahead.
There's two things I like about Titanic is you see that girl's boobs and then you watch Leo die.
I got a problem. I have
it's just the other 3 hours and 95 minutes.
Kid you not.
Yeah, man, I'm in the boobs.
I was going to back in the day, there used to be a movie theater. There's now a Walmart there. It was Kenrick Movie Theater. It's where all of us poors from South City would go. And I remember going there. I can't remember what I was seeing. I'm trying to match up the timelines. I do remember who I was with. I feel like maybe we were going to see Demolition Man, but I don't think that timeline matches up. And this line was wrapped around the building for Titanic, and it had already been out forever. Like these are clearly people, many of these people that have seen it 4, 5, 6 times in the theaters. I just don't get it. But there were some people, first timers, and my buddy jokingly walking by, and he's like, "Hey guys, spoiler alert, the boat sinks." And people left the line disgusted because he ruined the story for them. What the hell? And I was like a sixth grade.
The boat sinks in that movie? What the hell, Greg?
Yeah, that's why I ruined the Passion of the Christ for a lot of people. Like, they're going to crucify that guy, right? Like,
oh, come on, man.
I thought they were going to kill Barabbas.
Oh, great. What's next? Lincoln gets shot in Lincoln?
That's
hey, dude, thanks a lot.
I haven't even seen that yet, Pat. Thanks.
Jim Caviezel ruined Passion of the Christ. Let's not get it twisted.
Is that the guy that played Jesus?
Yeah,
probably.
That was him.
I'll bet he made that guy probably never has to work again a day in his life.
No, he's getting drinks bought for him wherever he goes.
No, actually, they buy water and he turns into wine.
Typical. That's good.
Avatar.
All right.
Hot garbage. James
Avatar.
Cameron, what are you doing?
I love Avatar.
Did you really?
I am a huge Avatar guy.
Not anymore. No, like you saw it once and you thought it was good, but then like you went back and rewatched it as like an adult with a couple more years of maturity under your belt, and you
Hey,
thought it was
no, that
garbage,
movie
right?
speaks to me. That movie speaks to the garbage human I am. So it fits right in line with who I am. I'm in. I'm all in on everything about that movie.
Here's the thing.
I'm gonna go real quick. It's right where it needs to be in the ratings.
Think so?
Yeah,
What do you
I
think,
thought it was
Pat?
pretty good.
I'm not big into Avatar. I didn't really care for it.
Here's what I think. I think that they built a beautiful world that I want to spend some
Avatar?
time. Yes, beautiful little world that they created there. I saw it in 3D. I've never been so underwhelmed by an experience in my life. You mean to tell me you got like flying prehistoric birds that you can plug your hair into and become a killing machine? And I can't get any of that in 3D, but I got little lightning bugs floating around with my goggles on. I thought it was garbage. I thought it was terrible. It was Fern Gully. It was a live action Fern Gully is what it was. The idea's been done. All right, I'm over it. I'm tired of the crazy liberal undertones of that movie and how we're destroying planets and we're nation building with our Marine forces and we've got mechs. I hate Avatar and I hate James Cameron for making it. There, I said it.
According to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, people are migrating up here because it's so hot down there because of global warming.
The war on drugs. The war on drugs.
She says global warming.
The war on drugs.
Was that real? Was that a satire tweet?
No, that's a real tweet.
I can't tell anymore.
That's a real
I
tweet.
cannot
And
tell anymore.
there's a lot of people that actually think that. And you know what? More power to them. But guess what? Everybody's moving here from Central America because we keep propping up drug wars between warring tribes. And basically, they're trying to leave like the highest murder rate area in the entire world. And it has nothing to do with climate change and everything to do with the fact that they got an AK-47 pointed at their kid's face because these guys are trying to move cocaine because it's illegal because we bolster black markets with our governments. That's what's happening.
All right, let's go ahead.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Let's go ahead and get to our next movie.
It
This
worked
might
out.
be the last one. All right. Obviously, you know my thoughts on this. However, out of all of Kevin Smith's awful movies, this one I did kind of like because the great Chris Rock and Will Ferrell are both in it, and they did great. And that's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I'm gonna say it's right where it needs to be. Moderately good.
I love Jay and Silent. You know me. I have a soft spot for Kevin Smith. I don't think that he's had some missteps, but he's made some fine productions. Jay and Silent Bob was actually kind of ranks further down the list for me. But that's not the only movie that Chris Rock is in that Kevin Smith's done because Dogma is brilliant.
Dogma
is a brilliant.
Okay, I have seen Dogma.
Brilliant flick. I think that would be right up your alley. I'm surprised you
I-
don't like it. You should revisit that.
I think it's also decent.
Okay,
it's pretty good. But Clerks and Clerks 2. Wow. Anybody that thinks Clerks 2 is funny, I just don't get you.
I love Clerks 2.
We cuss a lot. Get it? There's no like. It's not clever at all. There's no,
You revisit it.
It's just a guy saying a lot of.
Revisit
they
it
just
with
cuss a
your
lot.
black heart, Seth.
I'm not 13. I don't live off frozen burritos and smoke. Well, I do smoke.
You do allegedly.
No, I don't.
Allegedly?
I don't smoke weed through a bong I made out of a Taco Bell cup.
You're an Okie
When
from Muskogee. You don't get your kicks on
Jay and Silent
LSD.
Bob Strike Back. Is it whack?
I love Jay and Silent Bob Strike
My
Back.
man.
All right. I could tell.
What the?
When I
is
met
the
you, I was like,
internet?
I'll bet he loves. Oh gosh, we're about to be bombarded.
It's
But
like-
go ahead.
Yeah, I loved like Kevin Smith's work up through Clerks 2, and then everything after that's been kind of eh.
Even Jersey Girl is a good flick.
Yeah, Jersey
Even
Girl's good.
Jersey Girl's
Jersey
great.
Girl's good. Yeah, it's like
Mallrats, I thought was a snooze fest.
yeah, yeah. Mallrats is the weakest of like the View universe, but
You think so? Chasing Amy's
No.
great.
oh no, trust me,
haven't
I
even
love
seen
Chasing
Chasing
Amy.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Isn't that about like a lesbian and the guy has a crush on her? And
Dude, first off, if you ever talk about Joey Lauren Adams like that ever again in my presence, we're going to throw down because Joey Lauren
Get
Adams
him.
is not just some lesbian, okay?
Get him.
just asking.
You don't talk about
I
Joey Lauren
asked.
like that around me, sir. No.
Get him.
I just asked if the character she was playing,
Yes, she was a lesbian.
and that's the plot.
Ish. And Ben Affleck is trying to flip her. He's trying to turn her.
Get her to switch teams.
And he's also got his hetero life mate, or so he thinks is his hetero life mate, has kind of a closet crush on him. It's a coming of age story, and it's a very powerful movie for the LGBTQ community. And I can't believe that you're choosing to be a bigot right now.
I am. Oh wow, you connected a lot of dots there all on your own. But really, I'm just okay. You know what? I'll watch Chasing. Let's watch Chasing Amy. What are you doing? I'm busy tomorrow. I got this thing, but no, I'll watch Chasing Amy and I'll get back to you.
Give me another one.
We got time for one more.
We got time for all kinds of them.
Do you guys want to do it or Napoleon Dynamite?
I think
That's
we can be quick on both of them.
Yeah.
It, I thought, we're not talking about the remake because neither of us have you seen the remake?
Nope.
Nobody in here.
I
seen
saw
the remake.
the
I'm sure
first
it's
20
great.
minutes.
It doesn't look good.
It's the first 20 minutes were more nerve-wracking to me than like say the first 20. The original It is a slow movie. It's kind of a, it's very slow going, very creepy, builds a lot of the remake is it's tough. The remake is tough.
Hi.
We have been joined, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you sound
Hi,
so much
Steve.
better now.
So who won? Who was the outcome? What
We won. Good guys won again.
The yellow shirts.
There you go.
Yeah. No, this guy was so much better. This guy, this time, this coach.
You
They
feel,
still need
you
another
feel
guy.
better about where you're at?
A little bit. Still glorified babysitting. I expected a little bit more out of the premier soccer group in St. Louis, but this week was better.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Lot less people.
Did Ollie put any
lot less people.
Any good touches on the ball? Did he tickle?
He's a natural born stopper.
Did he
He wants to
tickle
play
the twine?
forward.
Oh, he's
He didn't
goalie.
get any goals.
Is he the
He's
keeper?
Hey, listen, you teach him a little step down defense. He'll be a great little fullback. He knows how to be in the way.
Yeah, that's it. That's his deal.
That's a
That's his
great
game.
place to be.
He stops the ball and he distributes. He's a perfect center midfielder. He wants to play up top, but I'm like, kid,
Okay.
he's too unselfish. He's too unselfish
You're
to
not
play
a
up
striker,
top.
kid.
Nope.
You're not a striker.
You don't have the
I'm
selfish.
telling you, I was a right wing, and sometimes I play halfback. And halfback is a smoker. You got
Did
to
you play in 1965? Because
Yes.
those are terms they do not use anymore.
Yes, they
Thank
do.
He's
you.
actually a flanker.
Okay, I played in the early late 90s.
Well, as soon as he got done, he actually participated in some old timey bare knuckle fighting matches in the alley.
I'll
Get back to
butter
the
your
factory.
bread.
The old-fashioned fisticuffs.
Yes, thank you.
Get back to the factory now, kids.
Yes.
I like to throw hands.
Can we get these kids a ball? They've been kicking around the same old newspaper for just weeks.
That condom filled with pennies isn't going to get the job done.
We
anymore.
are really covering the prophylactic angle tonight. So
regular Trojan.
The old It,
One of the-
overrated, underrated.
One of the best horror movies of all time. Traumatized me as a kid. Saw
Truly,
it just at the
truly
right time in my
horrifying.
life.
You want to talk about a movie that I think created a whole new phobia. It already existed, but for now, I think more people are creeped out by clowns than the opposite. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most people clowns are unnerving.
Yeah,
especially those.
So
Especially those
loud.
French clowns.
Are you talking about mine?
They're so quiet.
It's like if Tim Curry's playing like the villain, people are just gonna become afraid of whatever he's playing.
Listen, I like my Tim Curry in fishnets and lipstick. Okay?
Oh yes,
I'm a Frankenfurter guy.
I like him as a butler.
Ooh,
Clue.
yes, I know. I see you over there. It is a tremendous movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen the remake?
For a made-for-TV movie, the original is unreal. The remake is phenomenal too.
I got 20 minutes in. I'm like, I'm out.
Petrifying. A lot more like whoa, like
Jumpy.
strobe light
The
scare.
clown though looked more like something you'd see on a T-shirt at Hot Topic.
100%.
Yeah, I didn't like that
100%.
clown.
No,
I like
but,
the other clown.
I
Just,
believe
just
that's
that clown himself. Just
maybe
really
Alexander Skarsgård, I think, maybe plays him, and he
Really?
he's unnerving.
I thought
He's
it was
an
Bill
unnerving-
Skarsgård.
Yeah, okay, whatever. It's a Skarsgård. Give me a
Bill
break.
or-
I
it's-
didn't
I
know
can't
you were
remember his
finished.
name.
All
It's either
Skarsgårds
Bill or
look alike.
Alexander.
All of a sudden, I step out of line on the Finnish people one time, Pat, and you got to bring me right back in. No, I think you're right. It is Bill Skarsgård. There's some relation there. Come on. What do you think? What do you think? It.
I say, yeah, I like the original. I like the original one, especially Tim Curry as the clown, and also the late Harry Anderson as like the guy who in the library gets all the the balloons.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Harry T. Stone.
Yeah,
from Night Court.
Oh,
yeah, he's in the original.
My dad sat next to him on a plane to Vegas one time.
Huh?
That's claim to fame.
Yeah.
1 degree of separation. Me and old Judge Harry.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that a degree of separation.
You don't know me. How about Napoleon Dynamite?
You want to get into Napoleon? Okay, we can do that. I thought it was underrated. I thought it was so funny.
Have you watched it recently?
Yes, I still laugh.
I have
It's
not
just-
seen it in years. When it first came out, I did think that it was so different and so funny because is that what Idaho's really like?
Tina? It's like mid 90s Idaho or something like
I
that.
wouldn't be surprised.
Shout out to all of our Idahoans. Pat hates you. So, Pat, I'll give you one last opportunity. Steve's in the house. We're about ready to jump to break. Plug your comedy one more time. Where can they come see you? Can they find you on social media? What can we do to help you out, Pat? What can we do?
All right, yeah.
We're not going to just give you money, though, so don't ask.
Yeah,
Oh, darn. Well, yeah. Instagram, I'm at Breaking Pat. Yeah, and then tomorrow night, I'm at Apotheosis, 8 p.m. Come see it. $5 get in. And Wednesday, I'm on Yours, Mine, and Ours at the Heavy Anchor, $5. And then Easter Sunday, I'm on a secret house show that if you it's called Please Eat My Food.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that at someone's house?
Yeah, it's at someone's house.
It's like a house party, but instead of a DJ, we're going to have comics.
Yeah, and they don't. They never release the address until the day of. Kind of like with those secret concerts that.
Dude, like Where's Fluffy?
Yeah.
Dick and Nora's Infinite Playlist?
Yes.
That's my dream.
Oh.
So like you got people showing up to the wrong houses all the time. They're like, oh God, it's this comic, and you're the main event. They got to follow the clues and get there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so terrific. Pat, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
man.
Thanks for having me.
You got it, man.
I just got a brilliant idea. How about like almost like Christmas caroling, but it's just comics staying outside people's houses and telling jokes.
Just working goofs.
And you have to give them money and they'll go away.
Just with a bullhorn shouting at the house.
Just working goofs.
Working goofs, guys. Working goofs. Guys.
Cracking wise.
On the other side of the break, we're going to talk about Steve's going to tear down the premier soccer club of St. Louis.
Blues are up 1-0.
I'm going to.
Oh, nice.
Blues are up 1-0.
Good guys up 1-0.
Let's go Blues.
All right, there you go. I'm not a hockey guy, and I knew that. Let's jump to break on the other side. Steve's got that story. I've got an encouraging story about a municipal judge. We're going to talk about some streaming picks. We're going to talk about our boy Julian Assange. We're going to recap. Mo. Help me out. MCIA CannaCon STL. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. It's usually me bringing him in line. Yeah. This is why we work so well together. This is why we work so well together. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU920am.com. We'll catch you on the other side of the break.
Say word. Last February, we held our first Hoosier Tattoo Day at Tower Classic Tattooing in the Grove. And I got to tell you, a lot of really sweet art happened on that day. Everyone who showed up left very happy with their new tattoo. The artist did everything they could to ensure everything, from the drawing to the application itself, was perfected and exceeded the expectations of each individual client. We packed the house and the artist remained cool as a cucumber the whole time. If you got the itch to get inked, visit Tower Classic Tattooing located at 4146 Manchester in the Grove. Check out their artist profiles at towerclassic.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risks of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome.
He has a dream in disguise.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands.
A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community.
We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from MoMedCanCo.com.
Where?
I get it from MoMedCanCo.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MoMedCanCo.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
Just go Google it. I wanna let those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna let those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding. Google it.
Rooftop for a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo, boo. Cause we tell all the leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side.
James Hardy boy, yeah.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game, best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
Would you like to host your own radio show? WGNU now has a rock star lineup of popular shows, including St. Louis Live, Dave Ramsey, and The Brian Stull Show. And now we're looking for new show hosts to join our sports, business, and entertainment-focused content. Whether you're a company trying to promote your services or a content producer looking to grow your audience and build your brand, you can have a home here at WGNU. When you become part of the WGNU family, you'll have access to our state-of-the-art studio to produce your show. Your show will then be broadcast on a signal that reaches millions in St. Louis and Illinois. In addition to your radio broadcast, your show will be available on multiple formats, including podcasting and live stream audio over on our WGNU app and website. We're also very proud to announce that all our live WGNU shows will be streaming live on video as well. Call us today for a tour of the studio and a free one-on-one consultation about your show or business. Also, if you don't have a show idea but would like to have a commercial, we can do that for you as well. Call us today for your free tour and consultation, 314-454-0400. That's 314-454-0400.
Roof? You know what that sound is. That's Rufus the Roofing Dog from Lifetime Roofing and Renovation. They're former insurance adjusters. They will fly a drone over your house to check to see if you've had any hail damage. Heck, they'll get up there and tell you themselves. They have an office in Webster Groves, and they're looking to help you out. Lifetime Roofing and Renovation, 314-800-0426. Give them a call. Find them online at lifetimestl.com.
Sergeant Jabari Wright.
In the Army, I was trained as a combat lifesaver. In 2012, had an accident and became paralyzed. I was used to working in healthcare and how am I supposed to help people, and I'm in a wheelchair now. It really severely impacted my confidence.
Jim Arndt, PAVE Program, Paralyzed Veterans of America.
PAVE helps veterans rebuild lives with valuable careers. We assess the skills, build the resumes, and help with the interviewing skills to be able to find a career that our veterans are looking for.
PVA took what I was doing in the military and helped me translate that to meaningful employment in the civilian sector. Hooking up with them helped to empower me.
PAVE really concentrates on the one-on-one relationships. Unlike other programs that measure success by placements alone, PAVE places greater emphasis on quality jobs and continued support, our Partner for Life guarantee.
To learn more, visit pva.org, a public service message from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Right now, Doctors Without Borders medical teams are operating in some of the most remote and dangerous corners of the world. When front yards become front lines, when disaster erupts, when disease rages, when communities collapse under crisis, at the crossroads of conflict and epidemic, where there are no hospitals, that's where we operate. We go where conditions are the worst because that's where we're needed most. In nearly 70 countries, we're saving lives threatened by violence, disease, malnutrition, and catastrophic events. Donors are vital to our mission. Your response is critical to our response in places where few others will go. That's where we operate. Learn more at doctorswithoutborders.org.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've messed up your daughter's haircut. Do you A, get spiritual?
Mom, where's the mirror?
Beauty is within. Oh.
B, find the positives?
Less time blow drying, more time texting?
Or C, show empathy?
Mom, you really don't have to.
Twinsies!
I kinda love it. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I found a toy dinosaur over on the playground by Smith Street. It had this phone number on it, and, well, I just wanted to make sure the dinosaur made it back to its little owner.
When I found the little sippy cup, I just had to give you a call. It's for a kid, you know?
I know my son gets super attached to the smallest things, even a fire truck, and I'd be happy to drop it off. We'd do anything for kids, yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
WGNU, the talk of St. Louis. Streaming live at WGNU920am.com.
In order to get the principle of a network across, I have to convey to you an idea which is extremely simple, but which is difficult to grasp only because we're not used to it. We are used to thinking as Westerners, as having a certain kind of language, and therefore a certain kind of logic that goes with it. We're used to thinking of the world in terms of the game of billiards. In other words, we are still thinking about our psychology, our bodies, and their relationship to the outside world in terms of what would scientifically be called Newtonian mechanics.
You're live with Stephen Elgin and Craig Kohler. This is Hoosier Sophisticate Radio, everybody. Presented by Mycelio Media. Let's chill, St. Louis.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, it feels like home.
It does. I miss you guys every time I'm at that stupid soccer field, at a stupid soccer park with stupid Scott Gallagher. Listen, I've always had an issue.
Does he
with Scott
smash
Gallagher.
watermelons?
Yeah, no, that's Meredith Hopping.
Oh.
What? Her
We
friend
have like
Lauren.
a joke about each comedian
Yeah,
guest
I know.
so far. I think Angela was the snaps. What,
Yeah, you were Pearl Snaps.
She named me Pearl Snaps.
But that was a joke on you.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm not here for the first hour is my son started a Scott Gallagher spring program is what they called it. And I just expected more. I just expected a little bit of, if I could go out there and be a second set of eyes for this guy, listen to me and just tell these kids, hey, when you're bunching up and everybody's playing pack ball,
You got to give an outlet. You got to give an outlet.
Give an outlet. They're making back passes that are just if I would have, if any of us at CBC would have made this pass, it's like, that's cute. You'll never see the field again. And like just straight 50-50 balls they're playing.
You mean to tell me that they had a higher standard for play at CBC than they did for 10-year-olds at Scott Gallagher?
Exactly. And
Okay.
well, half of our team was Gallagher kids. So Gallagher is the premier team in St. Louis. And oh man, we're the most money and we're the best. And I made the mistake of believing in Scott Gallagher. That's on me. It was so I'm sorry, Scott Gallagher. It's all on me. And which is funny because I roasted him on Facebook. I'm like, this is glorified babysitting. Like a little girl got blasted in the back of the head because her field is behind the 9-year-old boys' field. And I'm like, this is just stupid. They're packing them in this joint.
See, I would have lost my mind laughing. I would have had to pull up my phone, pretend I didn't see it, and I'm laughing at my phone or something.
Yeah, I
'cause
know.
I would lose it.
Well,
I mean, it's a soccer ball. The kid's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it was, but it made me mad. I was real mad. And so I was like, if I was that dad, I'd be livid.
Well, go ahead. We just talk about the cost that it is to just. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about this particular incident isolated, but just as kids growing up, we were allowed to play competitive soccer, and there was certainly
That's
a
what I'm
degree of
paying for.
separation
I'm paying for
between
friendly
CYC soccer and kids that were playing select clubs at AB, and so. But at least there was that place for kids to still get a very fundamental understanding of the game, not just soccer, baseball. I mean, anymore, if you want your kid to really compete and have a chance to play high school ball somewhere, potentially get their college paid for, the investment as a parent now that you have to make in your children playing sports, not just in money, but in time, is unbelievable. And it's frustrating to a degree, man. Like some of my, I think some of my the best parts of my upbringing are centered around sports, and whatever discipline I do have is pretty much owed directly to sports and just having to be a part of a team. And I think nowadays there are so many kids that are just priced out of that, because if you're not paying to play select ball, you're playing like on a park league.
Yeah.
There's no winners. They don't keep score. Every kid's got to have a chance.
Oh, they don't
There's
really do that
18
here.
There's 18 kids.
The
I
kids
feel
are
like though
keeping
at
score.
Gallagher, because you kind of, would you say like as they get up 12, 13 years old, there's starting to be some players out there. There's starting
Gallagher
to be some stuff.
has some steeds out there, but there's steeds everywhere. Like it's a whole different world of soccer than I brought up. Because right now I feel like it's almost a fraternity mentality where you had that I'm paying for friends. You know what I mean? Like it's not really like that.
Yeah.
This is more I'm paying for the connections through Scott Gallagher.
Yeah, that's kind of
I'm
dirty
paying-
feeling.
It is, because I'm paying for what me and my friends did. Like when we went to a park and played soccer with no direction, just figuring it
competitive.
out.
Yep.
That's all Gallagher has done for us. They're like, here's a safe space, parents, for your kids to run around and kick some soccer balls out here. And it's like,
Do you feel like it's like Common Core soccer? Where like
I'm a Common Core guy. so
that's
it's
what I'm
not-
saying though. Do you think that because it's not like quite as regimented, and I do feel like in sports you really kind of need to get that regimen down before you start getting out there with your strategic thought. But do you feel like maybe it's a way for them to they're building those building blocks that make it all make sense a little bit later
The
on?
idea is great. Get them out there, short side or small sided games, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, 6-on-6, 7-on-7. That's how you get more touches. That's how you become a better player.
Yep.
I'm all in. But with one guy out there, and last week, that guy wanted nothing to do. He wanted nothing to do with being a coach. He's
Yeah,
just like,
that's
that
hard.
guy is out
That's
there.
hard.
I'm like, I felt for him. I was like, I wouldn't want no part of this either.
And we got to take into consideration that everybody has off days, no matter
Sure,
what their job
for sure.
is.
And this
you know?
guy learned all the kids' names, got in there.
Tough.
Yeah, he learned them in 5 minutes because he won't be their coach again next week. Maybe, I don't know, but we had a different one this week than we
Right.
had. He's the coach, referee, coach for both teams.
Oh,
So
that's tough.
when there's opportunities that I see, like, kid, you never play a ball back. When you got two guys in the middle and you're on a wing and you're going to play it back to your center back or center midfielder, you can't put a ball there.
Right.
Because if one of those guys gets it, it's off to the races.
Yep.
And their team must have done it 20 times. And I'm like, buddy, you got to get it through to these kids that they cannot be playing balls through the middle of their own defense. You just can't. Got to swing it out wide. And some of the kids get it. Like what far post. If I'm coming down the right side and I'm on the right side, that ball's got to go to far post. I'm not hitting one
No
near
doubt.
post unless I'm putting it in the net.
Right.
If my ball doesn't go far post, then get out of here, kid. Like, I don't know what you're doing here. Put the ball far post.
I agree.
And then these kids are like, oh, I just shouldn't have gone. The coach is like, oh, I'm watching something else going on over here. There's a 6-year-old girl getting blasted in the face with a soccer ball over here.
Are the coaches just like dudes in jeans and dad shoes?
No, they all got
they're
the
for real.
Cool,
They're
they all
Diodora.
got
They don't
the cool, tight ankled pants and the longer coats that all the soccer guys wear. You got to have soccer guy out there. I got my Kelmy shoes. Oh, you never heard of Kelmy? I guess you don't play soccer then, fella. Umbro? Lotto?
So the extent of it, their coaching is probably just him like cheering on individual kids. Like, that's good, Brandon.
That's good.
That's good, Brandon.
Brendan?
I don't know. I'm just
Billy? Brandon?
There he goes,
Brandon?
Scott. That's
Yeah.
Steven.
Britton.
Steven.
Yeah, exactly. No, there are some weird kid names out there. But I mean, my
Oh, yeah,
son's
they're
having
getting
a
crazy
great
with the names.
Yeah, my son's having a great time.
Oliver's making friends.
That's huge. Yeah, he's not really.
He's putting a foot on the ball.
Yeah, he's
having
getting better.
fun.
He's
And
Yeah.
he sees his dad on the sidelines.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Anytime you want to work in the Who for Steve, that's perfect.
That's great, dude.
So you got a little fired up about that. Let me give you an uplifting moment in my week. You'll remember probably a month or so ago, I had a rough week. I got tagged going like 15 over, like in front of a sign that said 45. Like apparently I was in a 30, but I could like reach out and touch the
Right by
sign
your
that said
house,
45.
right?
And I got it in Peevely. So I got
Not too
a
far
speeding
away.
ticket. And that was, I got a lawyer and I'm like, okay, whatever. That's a bummer. Well, like a few days later, I wake up late to take Trevor to school.
This is by your house.
Running a little by my house, on my street, on my street. We got to get, we are 4-minute drive to his school. We're running that late. And I'm like, so I cruise down.
I bet
It's
you
a
I can
very,
get there too.
very foggy day. And I'm not even going to get crazy about it. It's a very small little private school. Like it's easy to whatever. Tardiness is not the worst deal, but let's be punctual. Let's not be that family. Let's not be the dad that's hair is
Let's not be
all
the
over the
Elgins.
place in your pajama pants. Let's not be that dad that just doesn't have it together. So I'm cruising. I happen to think that I came to a complete stop. The officer that was 40 yards away from the end of my street did not think that I did, and he was really concerned that I was rolling out in the really foggy day. It'd be hard to see me on a street that is 25 miles an hour. There was nobody coming. I'm pretty sure I stopped. Whatever. He said I didn't. He writes me a ticket. This is a couple months ago or a month ago. So, all right. The guy writes what looks to be 5-8 for my court date. Well, the 5 was actually a 3, and this guy wrote it with his foot, I guess. I don't know. It looked like a 5. So I did not show up to my original court date. I get a letter.
Here's your ticket.
Yes. Hands it
He
to me
has
with
no.
his,
He
he
doesn't
took
have
his boot
arms.
off, clenched it with his toes, and handed me my ticket just to put
Get
a little-
outta
just to put
here.
a little sauce on it.
Oh, Richard!
And so he's
Your local police department proudly hires disabled.
so I miss my court
Got
date.
arms.
I get a letter that says I failed to appear and I need to appear in person now.
Dog the bounty hunter's like,
I'm
hey,
sitting there.
brother, you need to get right with Christ and go to court.
I think Hillsborough
Sorry,
has,
Beth.
I think Hillsborough has one night a week.
Joneson, bro.
Hillsborough has one night a week where municipal court is in session. Okay.
Ladies' night.
So
too.
this room is
ladies
packed
get in free.
with everybody over the course of the week, the entire Hillsborough area that has any kind of misdemeanor municipal charge against them. We're all going at the same time. And I just want to give a shout out.
And it's a veritable who's who of Hillsborough.
It is a bit odd
How
per
come I
se.
feel like the
Let's
courtroom's
just
the
say-
same people
let's
every
just-
day?
let's just
I've got
say-
tomorrow and then Friday and then next
Let's
week.
just say
so we
it-
can ride together.
Let's just say it has me a little bumfuzzled how many people in that room knew each other. And they're like, oh, you're here? Like, yeah, man, it was over $50, and you're like, oh. So everybody's in there. Nobody wants to be in Muni court. We're sitting there, and I just want to give a shout out because as much as I complain about, law enforcement or, our liberties being trampled, and I give judges a hard time and lawyers a hard time and legislators a hard time, this judge in Hillsborough is awesome. I voted for him in the last election. I didn't tell him that. I didn't want to sway his decision. I wanted him to rule
He just-
with
he
the
could
blind,
just
with the
lie
blind
about
eye,
a
with the
thing like
blind
that.
eye of justice.
Yeah, right. You had his campaign
I did.
shirt.
I
on.
printed them for him.
Picture of him on it.
And I just want to say that everybody, and I'm looking at this room and I'm like, my file is firmly in the middle of the pack of 90 people who each have to go up in front of this judge one at a time. They're trying to get through it as quick as they can. I'm like in my nice woven button up shirt and slacks. I'm like, I'm going to show up to 6:30 court. I'm not going to be that guy who's like bummed out, unshaven. I walk in there and I definitely stand out around the crowd. I'm like, yes, I'm in good shape, clean cut, good to go. Saw a little kid, or not a little kid, he's a teenage kid. He's like going to airline
The
school.
7-year-old.
Yeah, he's like,
"Oh,
what are you in here for? He's like,
still
stuck a dude with a shiv. This judge came out, and we've talked about this on the show many a time. Sometimes a traffic ticket, man, can throw your whole everything on tilt. And you think about people, lower income people that get these. I mean, it can railroad your finances and really put you in a tough bind. And this dude came out, and it didn't matter who it was up there. There was a lot of it was traffic stuff, but a lot of just small little petty misdemeanor stuff. This guy was so kind. This judge was so kind. Judge Colby Smith Hines. What's up, Your Honor? He was great, man. And he was sitting there and he was really just everybody. He wanted to make it a point. He's like, hey, I don't want to make your life any harder than it is. So you're going to come back here next month with that proof of insurance.
They
and
talk
your
to you like
ID,
you're 7. Like
and your ID.
you're going to
And
wash
and when
before
you do
eat.
that, I'm not put in a position to have to be a bad guy. Do you follow? Yes, Your Honor. And this is the approach he took with everybody. He's like, hey, this sucks. It sucks getting getting the slap on the wrist.
Wait, what day of the week was it?
This was yesterday.
Okay, so yeah, you're towards the end of the week. He's like, I've done this.
No, that's what I was saying though. Hillsborough just does all of their Muni thing one day a week.
Oh,
so everybody that's got the room is packed.
He's probably starving. He needs a cigarette. He's like, no doors? I don't even know if that's illegal. Get out of here.
He came from a really kind place. They're going viral, months ago, maybe a year ago. There's kind of an older judge up east and he's like dismissing stuff. I got so much of that feel where this guy's like, hey, I live in this community. I know your dad. you can tell that bond is there, and that's something kind of cool about a small town. Like, get it together, guy. Like, we don't want you to be in trouble any more than you want to be in trouble.
Like,
I went up and I was like, Your Honor, I thought I was supposed to be here next month.
And they're like, Kohler, haven't seen you at church.
Yeah, he goes, Catholic? Not anymore, sir. What do you do for faith? Well, I put it all in your hands, sir.
What do you do
I
about
put it all in
God?
your. I have faith in you, sir, that
Faith
you're going to
in
do
the US
the
government,
right
sir.
thing.
Which Jesus do you like?
So, shout out to the Honorable Colby Smith Hines. He's the kind of guy that I want in my
Let's
community.
save this audio and even show him file properties.
Yeah, exactly.
One day, like, hey, this is what Craig had to say. Like,
They
start
verbally
next
filleted
month
him.
when you have to go back.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't catch this before I have to reappear in court. No, I said, hey, I gave this information to my lawyer. I just wanted to try and get it moved to a non-moving violation. Can't afford the points. Can I take a class or something? He's like, why don't we come back on May 8th or May 9th is actually when it was.
My birthday's May.
And he's like, we'll get this whole thing figured out. And I'm like, weight of the world off my shoulders. Weight of the world off my shoulders.
That was like the exact opposite.
And he's going to jail.
I love trombones. If I was a judge, I'd have one day that year where I walk in, I go, dismissed everybody. I'd just walk out and I'd change what day every
drinks on me.
maybe even once a month.
Your Honor, I
murdered a guy.
I'm being tested every day.
I don't
to make
think
sure there's no alcohol in my system.
Get out of here.
Why are you in traffic court? Oh, I ran him over.
I had an interesting experience in the Jefferson County courthouse. Different experience with the judge down there. This is a while back. I did some dumb things. Jefferson County.
Same place.
I hope your different experience is less than 4 minutes.
Was that in Hillsborough?
Yeah, that's where the seat of Jefferson
so
County
I
jail
was
is. Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, we had to go to Hillsborough. That's so funny. Yes, now that's all
Put a
coming back to
tandem
me.
bike together.
But there was a pregnant gal there with a full-on shiner. Great shiner in her face, and she was there for court. And I'm like,
tell me she was smoking outside.
Oh man,
and drinking Mountain. She had a Mountain Dew. She brought a Mountain Dew.
That's one thing. And with no judgment being passed, I'm panning across this room and overhearing what some of these charges are brought. And like, there's just petty stuff that's hanging out from 2013, 14. And they're like, you didn't register a car or something. They're like, he's like, dude, get it off your plate. What are you like? I don't want to see you again. Why do you want to see me? I don't want to see you.
Our
again.
system's screwed. No one wants to do it. The cops don't want to write the tickets. We don't want to get the tickets. Judges don't want to go through the whole hassle. No one wants to do it. Yet we continue to play this stupid game where we police people for money, and it's a joke. I don't know. Like,
get them.
When are we going to have robots do all of these jobs for us? Okay.
I think robots will be
they won't
the
screw
worst
up as
law
often.
enforcement.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying drive our cars. Like, take out of all these responsibilities.
Driving my car.
I love driving my car, but there'll be a time and a place for it, Seth. Okay. And out here on the roads isn't it for you. Okay.
I don't know where else I would drive the car. I have a Santa Fe.
I hope my kids never have to drive a car.
You know what, Steve? That's interesting. Just to piggyback off what you're ranting about right now. I just want everybody to think about this. Process this for a second. A cop on a motorcycle can pull you over and give you a seatbelt ticket.
I don't want to.
Think about it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Dude, there were bike cops, in the neighborhoods.
There's real quick. There's seatbelt laws in states that have a no helmet law. Like, you can go 55, 60 on the highway on a motorcycle, no helmet. I'm going through a residential area. I have to be strapped to a chair.
Yeah, you need to be strapped to a chair for more reasons than just.
Or I owe $50. Just that'll be 50. But yeah, that's
it. Just
how do you
creates
put a price on that.
It creates terrible relations between us and them.
Well, I think that's one of the things that was really highlighted for me last night. I kind of knew this before, but I had an appreciation for it last night. It's one of the reasons why people that work in police forces and law enforcement should live in the neighborhood that they're policing. It would add to so much. What's the word I'm looking for? Like discretion as far as how you communicate with your neighbor. It would de-escalate so many situations if it was a familiar face. familiar with the territory, familiar with the stories around the
It'd
smaller
be an
town.
Andy Griffith everywhere.
Well, and I think that's a
Come on,
perfect idea.
Bob,
I
let's
know that they
go.
have some.
You're drunk.
I know, like a city
Bob,
cop for the longest
you
time.
did bath salts again.
For the longest time, city cops had to live in the city. I think they got to move out to the county, but I think maybe firefighters until just recently city firefighters had to live in the city. So I can appreciate all of that, but
when you for firefighters
when it comes to I think it's just it was a part of like a union agreement or whatever where you're going to be a St. Louis city employee, you got to live in the city.
Okay, all right.
I mean, but regardless, there's something to that where when you're a part of that community, you hold it a little bit more dear. It becomes a little bit more of a passion project for you, and I think it just de-escalates a lot of the violent interaction between officers and local kids if they know who lives where, whose parents are whose. It's a lot easier. The accountability game's a lot easier when it's your home turf that you're protecting.
No doubt. No, you're right on with that. And they talk about community policing in St. Louis, and I think being a cop in St. Louis is probably one of the hardest things a person can do or be, and one of the most noble if you're in it for the right reasons. And I think all of them probably are. I don't think many of them are like, hey, I'm getting in there to really wreck someone's world, baby. Maybe,
Totally.
Maybe get a few.
There's definitely those.
Oh, there's bad apples.
Bullies
no
from
doubt.
high school. They're like, I miss. You've seen Harold and Kumar where he gives the whole speech to the cop's face. It's like, how can I still F with those guys? Oh, I'll become a cop.
Yeah,
there's
no doubt.
There's guys like
but I think they're a strong
toxic,
few minority, and there is a spotlight that's put on them every opportunity, and it builds division within the community.
Because that's more interesting news than, hey, did you hear 97% of the police force are good guys? Okay,
99 probably,
no doubt. And it makes a divide between city cops and county cops, at least from my own personal experience.
No doubt.
Hearing city cops and county cops even like kind of talk about the other ones when they're not there. It's kind of like this, give them a razz, but also, that city cops are like, oh, that's cute. You're a cop in Kirkwood. Did you catch some teens drinking? Some old guy trying to, buy beer. For
Somebody littered in Webster Groves. Are you serious?
Teens were kissing at a park. Whoa. You know what I mean? He's like, you should have seen the triple homicide.
I watched a child walk through a claymore.
I know.
He had a fire in his yard.
Yeah,
without a permit. But
we talk about PTSD with veterans and guys that have been. You've been in combat, Seth.
Try not to think about it, Craig.
I know.
Bring it up.
I know. I'm never going to let you live it
Live
down.
radio.
I'm never going to let you.
Hey,
live
can you
it
play
down.
some helicopter noises and bomb sounds?
Me.
But I mean, for cops in rougher neighborhoods, I think that there are neighborhoods in St. Louis that even the cops are like, nope.
Oh, 100%.
Nope.
Scotty Smith, I was driving my
You don't
bicycle.
go there, and neither do we.
I was riding a bicycle, and through
Where were you?
north
Did
of
you have
Harris
sleep
Stowe, I
bags?
just kept going north. And so I went SLU and then drove through Harris Stowe's campus and then just started heading north.
Like go over into Midtown. Like
I don't even really know where I was. And Scotty Smith, little angel, skirts him. He said,
My
what are
guy,
you doing?
shout out
Steve,
Scotty
what
Smith.
are you doing? Riding your bike around here. I'm like, oh no, just checking out the area. No people in class. It flew. And he's like, get out of here, moron.
turn around. I'm going to escort you out of here.
Get to the chopper! Get the chopper now! Who made all these new ones? These are great.
I think he's just searching them online. That's what happens when you have a dedicated board hop.
I want to say one more thing that I think is one of the dumbest thing that has happened to us as a society, and that's the whole country, is anytime there's a case of police brutality and it's like, who was wrong, the suspect or the cop? It's now political affiliation somehow has decided, oh, I'm a liberal. That guy was right. No, I'm a conservative. Blue lives matter. It's like, can people like just look at this each on a case by case basis and just let go of that? It's called programming. They've been programmed to.
No doubt. I mean, it's the same. It's the same way that narratives get switched around when there's horrific shootings or something like that. It's always blame the tool, blame the societal norm,
blame that tool that shot
blame the
everybody.
societal norm, blame blame whatever. I mean, there's always a narrative attached to it, and very seldom is it, hey, blame the jackass that did this. How about that? He was loony. He was loony.
I don't know why they don't just make it illegal to shoot people.
I mean,
especially in gun-free zones.
Where all
It's
the
tough,
shootings
man.
happen.
It's
we
tough.
can't be left alone to make decisions for ourselves as humans. Okay,
That's pretty
guys?
much what they're saying.
I can't do it.
If you think the war on drugs put more drugs in the street, which is true, how are the liberals with that same logic going to say if you try to confiscate guns and make guns illegal, it's not going to? The war on guns would be
doubt.
mayhem.
No doubt.
Mayhem.
And
Well, we can 3D
happy with
guys,
what you got.
We have
This'll lead
3D
us in.
printers. We have 3D printers.
Yeah. Those are fun to blow up.
And
in
guess
your
what?
hand and
There was this little thing. Do we need to jump to a quick break before
but we can come back with Julian
when
Assange.
we come back to this? We'll talk about how this little thing called the Patriot Act changed so many of our lives, whether we know it or not. The society that we participate in is one that is constantly being surveilled. We'll talk about that, and a guy that was just going to put a little magnifying glass over it for us. He got in a little bit of trouble. Let's jump to break. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. We will see you on the other side. You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome.
He has the dreamiest eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands.
A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community.
We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Say word. Last February, we held our first Hoosier Tattoo Day at Tower Classic Tattooing in the Grove. And I got to tell you, a lot of really sweet art happened on that day. Everyone who showed up left very happy with their new tattoo. The artist did everything they could to ensure everything, from the drawing to the application itself, was perfected and exceeded the expectations of each individual client. We packed the house, and the artist remained cool as a cucumber the whole time. If you got the itch to get inked, visit Tower Classic Tattooing, located at 4146 Manchester in the Grove. Check out their artist profiles at towerclassic.com.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from MomedCanCo.com.
Where?
I get it from MomedCanCo.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MomedCanCo.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Lifetime.
Jill.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
And just go Google it. I wanna let those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna let those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding. Google it.
Roof up for a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo, hoo. Cause we tell all the leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side.
James Hardy, boy, yeah.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing, they're the best roofers in the game, best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
A voice for all of St. Louis. We are WGNU 920 AM and 106.9 FM.
A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thought. So he loses touch with reality. and lives in a world of illusion.
Welcome back, St. Louis. Let's get your mind right with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU.
I'm not saying that thinking is bad. Like everything else, it's useful in moderation. And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive. Through excessive thinking, they have lost touch with reality.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU 920 AM.
Welcome back.
You know what?
Looking good, Mr. Kata.
We've got a couple of great sponsors that put everything on here. James Carlton State Farm, carltoninsurance.net.
I love that guy.
If you got a young driver, I'm serious. Do yourself a favor. Give him a shout. 314-961-4800. They are super competitive on 18 to 24-year-old drivers. They've got a program to make sure that your kids are safe driving the car, and their insurance is going to be lower. Check them out. Super competitive. They also work great with our second hour sponsor, Lifetime Roofing.
Roof.
Gotcha. Steve was knees deep in the hockey game.
I got a message to all you, our fans from Winnipeg. Don't entertain yourselves with this, okay? All of Winnipeg can eat a fat one.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Graphic.
Little graphic. I want to tell you a little story, guys. At the age of 16, Julian Assange got his first computer as a gift from his mother. Before long, he developed a talent for hacking into computer systems. In 1991, he broke in to the master terminal for Nortel, a telecommunications company, and it got him in a lot of trouble. Charged with more than 30 counts of hacking in Australia, he got off the hook with only a fine and damages. He continued to pursue a career as a computer programmer and software developer. An intelligent mind, he studied mathematics at the University of Melbourne. He dropped out without finishing his degree, later claiming that he left the university for moral reasons. Assange objected to other students working on computer projects for the military. In 2006, Assange began work on WikiLeaks, a website intended to collect and share confidential information on an international scale. The site officially launched in 2007, and it was run out of Sweden at the time because of the country's strong laws protecting a person's anonymity.
Sweden?
Later that year, WikiLeaks released a U.S. military manual that provided detailed information on the Guantanamo detention center. WikiLeaks also shared emails from then vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin that it received from an anonymous source in 2008. You'll remember in 2016, Julian Assange and WikiLeaks also released a lot of emails from the Clinton campaign. According to a New York Times article, Assange came to the Ecuadorian embassy in London in 2012, seeking to avoid extradition to Sweden. That August, Assange was granted political asylum by the Ecuadorian government, which, according to the Times, protects Mr. Assange from British arrest, not only on Ecuadorian territory, leaving him vulnerable if he tries to leave the embassy to head to an airport or train station. So he's been holed up at the Ecuadorian embassy.
Bin Laden. If we would actually
in February of 16, a United Nations panel determined that Assange had been arbitrarily detained and recommended his release and compensation for deprivation of liberty. However, both the Swedish and British governments rejected those findings as non-binding and reiterated Assange would be arrested if he left the Ecuadorian embassy.
He didn't even have to leave to get arrested.
Assange was granted Ecuadorian citizenship in 2017, but his relationship with his adopted country soon soured. In March of 18, the government cut off his internet access on the grounds that his actions endangered the good relations that the country maintains with the United Kingdom, with the rest of the states of the European Union, and other nations. In 2016, he returned to the headlines during the presidential race, was narrowing to two main candidates, Democrat Hillary Clinton and Republican Donald Trump. In early July, WikiLeaks released more than 1,200 emails from Clinton's campaign during her tenure as Secretary of State. Later in the month, WikiLeaks released an additional round of emails from the DNC that indicated an effort to undermine Clinton's primary opponent, Bernie Sanders, leading to the resignation of DNC chairperson Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Unveiled 2,000 more in October. Campaign chair John Podesta, which included excerpts from speeches to Wall Street banks. By this point, U.S. government officials had gone public with the belief Russian agents had hacked into DNC servers and supplied the emails to WikiLeaks, though Assange repeatedly insisted that was not the case. Fast forward to just the other day, our friend Julian Assange, April 2019, after Ecuador announced the withdrawal of Assange's asylum, the WikiLeaks founder was arrested at the London embassy. Shortly afterward, it was announced U.S. authorities had charged Assange with conspiring with former Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning to break into a classified government computer at the Pentagon. Where you guys at on it? Where you at on Julian Assange?
I like him.
From what I know,
that's all I can say.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of getting all that information out there. I know the big deal was, hey, he's releasing all of these government secrets, man. And we're not, as citizens, to keep us safe, you don't need to know all of our secrets because we don't want the bad guys getting our secrets. And Julian's going to let the bad guys get our secrets too. But I started the documentary Risk.
Okay.
Which is about Julian Assange. He just lets a camera person follow him around. And with the Hillary stuff, he's calling. When he hears that the emails are going to be leaked from Hillary, from the WikiLeaks, that it's going to be released somewhere else, that he knows he's got his pulse, his thumb on the pulse. He's like, I need to talk to Hillary. He has his person call and says, I need to talk to Hillary right now. This is an emergency. And it's not our emergency. It's your emergency. I'm just letting you know right now. And you can tell what a calculated killer this dude is when it comes to like scheming this stuff out. And he went to like 36 different schools when he was a kid. So he feels very comfortable kind of on the run, moving, kind of going from place to place. That's when I just watching the first 20 minutes of it, I was like, oh, no wonder the dude was built for this kind
Conspiracy
of life.
charges are so arbitrary to me. What is it exactly that he's done that's against the law? He hosts a website where somebody gave him information.
Doesn't that strongly insinuate guilt?
I would think so.
I'm talking about on the party, like the people, like say Hillary Clinton, for example.
That's the thing. Why
do you care?
Why are you forcing me to look in that direction when the emails and these documents show egregious
ignore the man
overstepping of our civil liberties at all times? And you want to talk about conspiracy to undermine democracy all over the place. Literally, the Democratic nomination in 2016 was literally shown to be stolen from Bernie Sanders. I mean, literally.
And distributed evenly.
And that's strange. Well played.
Talk about feel the burn.
I feel like we should hold our whistleblowers in high regard. Now, I go a different direction on Chelsea Manning.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea Manning was employed by the armed forces.
She or he or whatever.
I think she is
Bradley Manning.
It wasn't just
formerly Bradley Manning. Yeah.
And she violated OPSEC, which is short for Operation Security. You take an oath.
It's a totally different deal.
And she put military operations and lives of those military men and women in serious trouble, where like Julian Assange and other whistleblowers, I don't think they're in the game to share military secrets from one country to another. Like, hey, watch this. They're going to blow, he's very much.
So that's actually that now that you say that, that's actually why he's being extradited to the United States. They are charging him basically with, let's see, UK will decide whether to extradite Assange in response to allegations by the Department for Justice that he conspired with former U.S. intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning to download classified databases. I believe Chelsea Manning.
Witch hunt.
I believe that Chelsea Manning just chose to go back to prison instead of testifying or to go back inside. So it's very interesting, man. I hold whistleblowers in high regard because we do live in a world of constant surveillance. My son was asking me to hang a tire from the tree, make a little tire swing. And I was like, buddy, I'll totally do that for you.
I just need a tire and a rope.
I've got tires for days. I live in Jefferson County. And I've got a couple of ropes, but these ropes I don't really trust to make a tire swing. I was like, I want to get one of those little steel cables that'll wrap around, got a little.
It ain't going nowhere.
Guess what? I open up Facebook to go to the Sophisticated Hoosiers page, see what's going on. And in my suggested items is a steel cable. I haven't talked about these things ever in my life except for whatever, an hour ago to my kid. Oh, buddy, I just want to get a little bit better cable to hang that tire from. I go to the Sophisticated Hoosiers page on Facebook, on my app. And it's like, oh, you should, Facebook Marketplace. There's a thing you can buy directly online. Jesus. Amazon link, something like, dude, it was.
Well, God, speaking of Amazon, how about that story that came out where the Amazon employees just sit around having a laugh about what people are asking their
on the Alexa? Unbelievable.
I do have something for your tire swing idea. I just thought of get some of that test line that deep sea strong stuff that people catch like marlins with and use that. And from a distance, it'll look like the kid's just floating on.
Ooh, I like that. That's a great idea. That is a good idea. I like
people
that.
like, am I tripping?
They got 70-pound test on this baby.
We got a little bit of time left. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
All right. Steve, you and I had another great experience today.
God, I love it. We keep having
making more and more connections within this cannabis industry.
I didn't even know you guys were doing that. I'm just on
burgeoning
Facebook Live at the gym. I'm like, oh, hey, Steve and Craig.
Burgeoning industry. You have a ticket there with your name on it, guy.
Did I?
Yeah. You still do.
I thought about
you're printed in the program. You're a big deal.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do I have like valet parking?
No, actually, we parked at a neighboring hotel.
It's funny. We just let
pay.
Yeah.
We found some homeless dude and just mocked him up and had Seth Gabriel's name tag around him all day.
They didn't know. You're never on camera.
Like Happy Gilmore's caddy walking around that place.
I was telling everybody in the first hour, it was an opportunity to network with a lot of people that we haven't had a chance to network with yet. People from Middle Missouri, a lot of Columbia presence there. Kansas City came out strong. There were some people from Springfield down in the Ozarks. It was a good time, and their speaker rotation is it was very interesting little speaker rotation. They've got like
2 blues.
2 blues.
2 blues.
3
2 blues.
They've got typically at any point going on through the day, they've got 3 different kinds of talks going on. You want to go to a business talk, you want to go to a grow talk, you want to go to a legislative talk or what's going on with DHSS. It was segmented up so you could kind of take in what you wanted. They had like 35 speakers.
It was unbelievable. And I'm going to make
40 speakers.
I'm going to make a plea to the people that I don't usually make a plea to. We always talk about people who want to get in the industry. Maybe you're not a patient and you don't want to get into the industry. I'm going to tell you these places are just filled with positive, ambitious people.
No doubt. A lot of love in the room. You don't feel any of that stuffy, energy that kind of comes along with a lot of networking conferences, all stuffy kind of suits.
Yeah.
There's people that are well dressed in there. They're ready. They're ready to take this world by the horns, and it's inspiring. But for the most part, everybody's pretty jovial. We're like, we're almost there, guys.
Yeah.
We've come this far. It's really awesome. It is a great conference. It's going on tomorrow. You can still go out there tomorrow. Crown Plaza Hotel.
Yeah. Beautiful place.
Beautiful little place. Nice little setup. There's all kinds of people with their wares, handing out CBD treats and whatnot. It's a really cool little deal.
Seeing the passion of everybody there, like just being surrounded by passionate people on a daily basis it's been life-changing. I know for me, and I know me and you getting to hang around with all these new people. Our old friends are just trash. Just throw them in the trash. Our old friends are out. New friends in.
New cool friends are in.
New cool friends.
You
guys are in. But no, just getting to see people from all around the state come in and just asking questions and getting answers. And then, I have a magazine. I need some video. Oh, we do video. We don't know nothing about magazines. Okay,
great.
well, cool. We'll get in there. Old Georgie Nolan was there today. Great dude. The Ma Oil people, shout out to them. I know
they're going to be ASA
they're
soon.
ASA Oil soon. I mean, we love Missouri Medical Cannabis Company. They're great people over there. Peacemaker Defense Group. We saw those guys again.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you haven't seen the dog attack video, the highest trained dog, how do you say it? The most well-trained dog
no doubt
in the history of dogs I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen a lot of dogs.
I've seen a poodle stand on its hind legs on a beach ball, so don't give me that.
He might have been able to
do it and shoot an assault rifle.
Yeah, that Belgian Malinois might be able to do that.
Yeah, it was an amazing. So just if you get a chance to go out there tomorrow and just check out, dip a toe in, just maybe you're man, I don't know what I want to do. I think when we're 18, it's like figure out something to do, go to college and just get a degree and then figure it out. And then you get out. You get out and you're like, I still don't really know what I want to do. I remember asking my dad when he was like 40, and I'd be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he'd be like, I don't know, man. Like we always had this kind of joke about that. I feel like there's a lot of that going on there. Maybe people who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s in a different line of work who are like, forget that. I'm done being that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get into this industry and I'm going to get into the hemp. I'm going to get into, Craig brings up shelving and plastics all the time. Like there's room for everybody there. So just check it out.
Build outs. I mean, if you're a contractor, if you're a carpenter by trade, there's going to be a smorgasbord of work that is coming to you soon. As soon as these licenses start being granted, you better make the relationships now because people aren't waiting on you to decide whether or not you're in.
No doubt.
Get in, find where you fit in, do your thing. It's out there. It's abundant. If you're not getting into the industry, but you're a potential patient or know someone that you care about and you want to get, the best thing you can do for the cannabis movement is to become as well educated on the subject as possible, so that when you find naysayers, you can give them a compelling reason to see your point of view. And so there's a slew of events. If you're in Kansas City, there's an event coming up. It's a free event by Normal on April 27th at the 10 spot.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Free event. There's a free event here in St. Louis on 4/20. It's at VFW 3944. It's the biggest VFW in the state, right off of Midland Boulevard. It's a free event. Project 422 is putting it on. Okay. It's going to be 5 hard-hitting hours of endocannabinoid system. Lyndall Fraker from DHSS is going to be there. Our buddy Chris Haney, Pitbull shirt himself, going to give a talk about cannabis and fitness and what we can do about suicide prevention. Our friend Tiffany Jones, St. Louis Naturopathic Clinic, she's going to be there to talk about the ECS.
And our buddy George.
And our buddy George Nolan from Mo Green's Wellness, Amendment 2 Consultants. The guy's awesome. He's an award winner. He's been outside in markets that are legal, and he has a name. I love the dude. I love his energy. I love being around him. I'm following that dude into battle, straight up.
No doubt.
His heart's in the right place. His brain's in the right place. He is a sharp dude. He's got it together, and he's cooler than the other side of the pillow. So shout out to our guy, George Nolan. Michelle Sanchez, what's happening with you?
The way they carry themselves, it's this maturity and just underlying cool that is a lot of these people that we've been through it. And I say that lightly as myself just did. The collective we've been fighting the battles for a while, me not as long as some of these people. And it's not about that really, but we're all fighting together. And even the people we're fighting against, it's not that type of fight anymore. It's almost a fight of understanding. So, when Craig was saying, educate yourself, how many people do you think, if they're anti-cannabis, would hear Jamie Kaz's story about her dad or your story about your dad? And maybe they go, oh, wow. Yeah, no, I thought people were just trying to get stoned, which maybe I even need to rethink why I feel why that bothers me. Someone getting high, doing something to their own body that I'm like, on their own time. Tisk. Oh, no. Oh, no.
System hacked. Countdown sequence initiated. 10 seconds to evacuation.
What a night,
Security
man.
breach detected. Your intelligence
Get out of here, man.
is under attack. Extracting dark matter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're gone, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again. We love you. You guys empower us. You show up here every Friday night. You contribute to the show. We talk about George, talk about Michelle. We talk about all these people. Lance Leno, thanks for having us out to the deal. You guys put on a bang up job. The MCIA has done a heck of a job with this CannaConSTL. The people that have come from all over to just share what they know and to make this whole thing. We're talking to Lonnie Kessler today, empowering all of these people. It's helping. It's a medicine. You guys help us get that word out. We grow this group. Sophisticated Hoosiers has become this unbelievable relationship, a caring family of people. We have people that are struggling with PTSD, with depression, with things like that. And it's constantly a place where you can come to for love and understanding and just some good insight. We're all just trying to get to that place. We're all just trying to get a little cup of coffee at the restaurant at the end of the universe. That's all we're trying to do, baby. We love you guys so much for coming along. I want to thank our sponsors, MoMedCanCo.com. Enter HOSO at checkout. Capital H-O, capital S-O. You get 15% off everything site-wide. They have CBD peanut butter now.
No.
Yes. Release it today. They have CBD vapor now. Hemp honey.
Vapor's great.
Massage oil. All your needs. Go to MoMedCanCo.com. Enter HOSO checkout. Get 15% off. CarltonInsurance.net. 314-961-4800. Get yourself a quote. He's going to do you right. He's going to take care of you. Lifetime Roofing. How's your house looking? How's the exterior work looking? You need a little roof done? You need a little siding done? Go Google them. Lifetime Roofing and Renovation. They make the second hour possible. Our guys, Tower Classic Tattooing. I got some compliments. I pulled out the old gun show today. Showed off Twain. Steve was showing me off like a little show pony. Tower Classic Tattooing made that possible. And Parlor STL on the Grove. We had a first Friday party last week, and we're going to have one next month. May 3rd. It's going to be the 1-year anniversary party for Hoosier Sophisticate. We've been doing this thing a year, boys.
My God.
It's been real, and it's been fun. And I think it's been real fun. St. Louis, we love you.
Hey, I want to say I love you guys, and you're going to hear me talking about this a lot lately, but I want to beat it into your heads. You help us facilitate this dream. We want to help you facilitate your dreams. Maybe you don't even know what your dreams are. You're awesome. You're good enough. We love you.
Be well, St. Louis.
You're listening to WGNU St. Louis, operating on 920 AM and K295CQ on 106.9 FM.
WGNU now concludes its broadcast day. We thank you so much for making us a part of your day and hope you enjoyed the broadcast you heard.